Shabbat Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to the citizens of Yahweh Media. The Tefillah, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Avanu, Shabbat Samaim, Yikardesh Shemeraka, Tavo Maku Teyasa, Hazer Razunka, Kesavan Mayan Kain Baretz, Elaku Kakanu, Tamlanu Hayom, O Slaklanu, Oko Tevanu, Gimo Shosokim, Gamanaknu, Lako Tehimlanu, Vel Tevanu, Leda Nisayon, Kim Kasanu, Memara, Kilaka, Amamlaha, Viogivara, Vioteferet, Leolamin, Selah. Praise YHWH, and praise YHWH, Beit Nun Sofit YHWH, Yahweh ben Yahweh. I am Yaakov ben El Shabak Yahweh, living parallel of Jacob in the Bible. Genesis 32 and 30. Genesis to Malachi is a multiverse time now, and is the story of the so-called Black American who is true YISRAEL of the Bible. In New Jerusalem, USA, JERUSALEM, JERUSALEM. We will pick up where we left off in part 2. As you will see, the mainstream media and the controllers of society attempt to demonize and vilify the Messiah of the nation of Yahweh, to keep his people and others who are just and righteous from coming to him. Let us continue.
This week about that. It's not declared hatred, it's called history. You come right on through the wars, World War I, World War II, the Korean War. All of these things, they show these movies of death and destruction. They say, remember Pearl Harbor. Never once is it declared hatred. And the last point on this is, when the Jews speak of the Holocaust, and we're reminded of it every year, no one says that that's hatred. It's saying remember, so that it can never happen again. And I declare that I have the same right under the Constitution in teaching the history of our people as all other groups teach theirs.
And I don't think anyone would deny you that right, and this country has had a long and shameful history of slavery, and if you were simply reminding your followers of some dates in which black people were brought here in ships and were enslaved, I don't think anyone denies you that right. I think that the real question is, are you perpetuating racial hatred with your teachings?
I think my disciples illustrate whether I am or not, and their lives and demonstrations within the community prove that that is not so.
Yes.
Yahweh ben Yahweh, I have to differ with you, and I agree with Dr. Dunn that the community of Yahweh has proven that when black people get together, they can do something for the betterment, or get themselves together, uplift themselves, as the Cubans have done down here, and you are doing by that example. Yet the people who I've known who have been Christians, so to speak, or people who have been out among the normal people who have become Yahwehs. We had an example right here at Channel 4, a gentleman who was quiet, unassuming, a large man, who all of a sudden, when he went into the Yahwehs, became a vicious person, literally. This was a brother of mine. He became a vicious person. He scared me. I didn't feel that he was attacking me, but he did scare and begin to intimidate white people in this company.
So you can tell that this is a complete made-up story. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to sit here and look at him and tell that this is something fabricated, to say that anyone who would join the nation of Yahweh is going to be an evil, violent person, and this is what Yahweh ben Yahweh is doing to regular people. You can tell this is fraudulent.
And I'm sure out on the streets, it seems that you are taking the oppression that is within all of us who have this black skin and using it to further the Yahweh cause. By that example, you said that by the example that it's not there. I have seen it.
I don't know who you're speaking about. I don't know this person. I'm sure, again, if you were to be in contact with my disciples and followers as I know them and as I teach, you don't find this example. The examples of hatred that you're talking about exist on the street generally in America, and I'm not here to address that. I'm teaching morality. and promoting morality, goodness and justice and all that makes for a good citizen in America.
Well, Yahweh ben Yahweh, if I may, let me cite.
You see how the Messiah is destroying them with calm, kind, and cool intellect. They just keep interrupting him to try to push a narrative, but he's not falling for it. He's not getting mad. He's not getting angry. He is just bringing up straight facts from his point of view and the truth. Have you noticed how no other leader of a Hebrew Israelite community has ever been brought on in this forum to question about what he's doing? They don't consider them a real threat because they're not the son of Yahweh.
One name of somebody who has been a member of your sect who still may be, and that is his Christian name was Robert Rozier. The name that you know him by, of course, is YHWH. Now, he was arrested. He's been charged with murder in connection with the deaths of two men at an apartment complex in Opelika, which your group was going to take over and manage and run. What is the relationship between this man Rozier, as we know him, and the Yahwehs?
All right, first, there's a federal judge. The federal courts have declared that we are a religion, a bona fide religion. We believe in and practice the laws of the Bible, the laws of the Torah. We believe and practice the scriptures from Genesis to Revelations. And the same as any other religious group, people are free to come, people are free to go. And YISRAEL is one that has come among us to glean of our teachings the same as anyone else has. He is presently in the hands of the judicial system, and he's one of us, and we're going to stand by him until he is proven guilty and all of his appeals are exhausted. America declares that a man is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So until that occurs, we will stand with him. Of course, we've taken property throughout the city and the country over the 7 years that we have been teaching here. We've updated it, made it beautiful, and in no instance has this occurred in the past. An incident like this.
Yes, all right.
Robert Rozier was a complete plant. He was put there to do what he did as an example to say, see, this is what the Yahweh is about. Robert Rozier was an agent put there to kill and to murder, period. Every group and every organization, every nationality, every people have good and they have bad. You don't just take a few bad apples and try to paint the whole picture. You see that happens that every time a police officer kills an unarmed so-called black person, they're always a lone wolf. They don't just demonize the entire whole. They don't say the entire whole is bad. That's just one bad apple. But when it comes to us, one or two bad people, they're used to categorize and characterize and slump them in crabs in a barrel mentality and paint everything bad.
Well, the question I want to ask, and Dr. Dunn, I know you want to get in here in just a minute. The question, I guess it really is there any way, overtly, covertly, implicitly, explicitly, that YISRAEL acted, if in fact he did act, and he is still a suspect, but is it possible that he acted somehow encouraged by your teachings?
I would not think so. It is impossible for me to compel anyone to do anything one way or the other. I teach the laws of Yahweh. And for example,
the laws of Yahweh preclude murder, taking another life.
Not in the sense that you're projecting it.
Praise Yahweh.
Well, what is your sense then?
As you project it in relationship to him, I don't have a sense about it. The laws of the Bible are clearly stated for all to read.
Yahweh in the Old Testament was an avenging God, though, wasn't he?
Well, he still is.
Praise
I don't renounce the scriptures. I stand with the scriptures totally, 100%. The children of Israel needed a protector and a deliverer, and that's what we have today. We are the children of Israel in America today.
Dr. Dunn, you want to jump in here?
You would think, though, on a question as basic as whether murder is right or wrong, that you could get a straight answer from someone who purports to be the Son of God. I have no opinion about what happened. The courts will decide that. But it seems to me that the Yahwehs, after 7 years of being in Miami, have not attracted broad support from the black community. Maybe that's out of ignorance on the part of the black community from the Yahweh's point of view. Maybe it's because the black community is intelligent enough to recognize hatred and to reject it, as most intelligent people would. But I would wonder why, if after 7 years of teaching in Miami, why the group hasn't, in your opinion, gotten more support from the black community itself.
We have recently done a poll letter, a poll sheet, and we have mailed over 20,000 homes in the city, and we have received a total of 10 letters back that reject what we have to say. The police intelligence units in this city admit that I have over 4,000 followers. We're also intelligent enough to realize that every movement among our people to uplift us have been destroyed in the past. This one will not be.
Nope.
Our people work in the total community, and those of us that dress in white are somewhat like the nuns and the priests that are in the Catholic Church. We are committed, and those that don't wear white work among you. Some of them are working with you now, all over the city and the country.
And on that point, we're going to take a break. I would say that, of course, nuns and priests practice abstinence and celibacy and denial. I don't know if that's part of your faith, but we're going to find out. We'll be back with more questions for Yahweh ben Yahweh in just a moment. Welcome back to Newswatch. On this Sunday morning, we are speaking with Yahweh ben Yahweh. As we took a break, I, of course, said that in the Catholic Church that nuns and priests practice celibacy, abstinence, denial. You arrived in a gorgeous white stretch limousine. You are in resplendent robes. You have jewels. You have wonderful accoutrements.
Once again, the heathen does not know the Bible.
Is that doesn't look like denial to me?
Well, in the term of celibacy, no, Yahweh says in his word, Genesis 1:26-28, be fruitful and multiply.
Praise God.
So I teach that we should be fruitful and multiply. And if you observe our schools and educational system, you'll see that we believe in children.
Yeah, if I may interrupt, and I want to go through a few of the basic tenets of your faith, but do you not have to bless each marriage that occurs between your members? Do they come to you for approval before there is a marriage of Yahweh members?
Oh, no, we're married all over the country. Our people are married all over America.
I know, but do they need approval from you?
No, they don't need approval, no, but I do bless them. I bless all marriages. And there was one thing I do want to cover. I don't want to leave it hanging in the air. I respect when one is making a statement and makes a question, I don't interrupt. But there was a thing.
As a pushy reporter, I'm afraid I break that tenet all the time. Go right ahead, all right. Dr. Dunn said something.
Dr. Dunn said something that he left in the air. I don't want to leave it in the air.
All right.
And the impression was about murder. I do not approve of murder. I'm against murder. And I'm against the wrongful taking of life by anyone and under all conditions.
I'm glad you I didn't understand that. And excuse me for interrupting you, but I thought when the question was asked that a straightforward answer was not given, and I found that to be somewhat unsettling. But
even though Dr. Dunn has agent's tendencies, I can work with him. The individual on the right of the Messiah, he's just a complete bootleg.
From you.
Yes. I just want to make clear that I believe in the scriptures from Genesis to Revelations, but at the same time, I don't want it left hanging that I believe in murder, because that certainly is not.
All right, well, let's go through a few of the other tenets of your faith. You believe that you are the lost tribe of Judah. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What is the basis for your belief?
The scriptures. Everything about the scriptures. When you research Judah, the knowledge of Judah. Judah was chosen to rule forever in 1 Chronicles 28:4 and 1 Chronicles 5:2. They're the chosen of Israel. Of all the tribes of Israel, Judah was chosen to be the ruler, and the scriptures state forever. When you go to Jeremiah 14:2, it gives you the color of Judah being black. That Judah is blackened to the ground. So here we have a people who are lost, preferably the lost tribe of Judah, to whom I am sent. I am sent in Matthew 15:24 to the lost sheep of the house of Israel to redeem them. And that's what I'm doing, and my work proves that.
All right, now it seems to me quite honestly that there's a paradox that somehow you bring in this book sitting here on the table in front of you, which you brought, is the Holy Bible. How can a faith reconcile both the Holy Bible and the Torah?
It's a part of it. It's simply a part of it. The Torah is simply the first 5 books of the Old Testament.
Yeah, well, it does seem paradoxical somehow that you can believe in both. I mean, is one...
I noticed that you never get those questions to the convert Jews who believe in the Torah. I've never heard anyone in the mainstream media question a rabbi about how can you believe in the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and also have anything to do with Christianity or be against Christianity and the way he's phrasing it. I've never heard the mainstream media publicly ask a rabbi this. They support Israel 100%, those who are in the land right now, without question.
More divine than the other, or?
No, both are the words of Yahweh, the God of Israel.
Yahweh ben Yahweh, we were talking about the poll that you were doing, and I want to send 2 things out to you and get your comments on it. I believe two of the reasons possibly that people might say the black community doesn't find itself a bond with the Yahwehs. One, a number of people who I know whose family members have become Yahwehs, the first complaint is that they lose contact with those family members. And the second thing, here you are, sir, saying, and I guess you have every right to say so, that you are the Messiah. You are dealing with a primarily Christian community that believes in one Jesus Christ, whatever color someone might want to paint him, as the true Messiah. And you are also taking, as these family members would say, their family members away from them, which would seem to hearken back to the days of slavery when the white man who enslaved us broke up the family unit. You are, I have no wonder that black people are.
Wait, when I first heard this and I saw this video, when the Messiah started laughing at him, I fell to the floor. This is hilarious. All you can do is laugh at this clown. That's it. He's trying hard, but he's making himself look ridiculous.
Coming in and joining in with the Yahweh unit. And one more thing, as I live in Liberty City and see your disciples and members of Yahweh coming into my neighborhood with their hands out, asking for donations, passing out literature, yet I don't see you on anywhere else out in my community doing something for that community that you seek tithes from.
Okay, I'll address both of those. Anytime what is perceived to be a new teaching comes about, people object to it throughout history, whatever it is. It's a free country. People make their minds up of their own volition to come and to accept the teachings of Yahweh, to follow the holy tenets of the Bible. There's no prohibition from any of us that someone can't be in touch with their families. We have found that it is the family members who have rejected us and who have separated themselves from our company. And in no instance do we separate ourselves from them. Our hands are always open to our family members, our relatives, our friends, our people, and then the community at large. Your second question, we've done the most remarkable thing above any organization among our people in regard to what is done with money that is taken up or collected or given. We are establishing a chain of 20 grocery stores this year across America.
Praise Yahweh.
We'll be offering the best quality groceries for the less price, for a better price.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Has any other Hebrew Israelite leader from our community established a chain of 20 grocery stores? This is just one form of business that Yahweh ben Yahweh created. You have to do your own research to see what he established in a whole. That's just a fraction of it.
I'm sorry. Again, that's my perspective as a reporter. But will those grocery stores be exclusively in black communities?
Certainly. We'll locate them in the ghetto, except one. One in Atlanta is in a periphery community. It's sort of a split community. It's in a white community. And the white community is just anxious to do business with us. That's the general consensus of all that are there that we've talked with. And again, other things that we have done is we've opened businesses that all across the country that's open to the secular community, all of the community. We have upholstery shops, paint and body shops.
Where do the profits for these go?
It's all